The walls are closing in on the global elite. Their conspiracies are unraveling in real time. Their cover stories shredded. And the public has finally stopped buying the script. Cornered and desperate, they're rolling the dice on the big one. Military insiders and cyber defectors are blowing the whistle. A dirty bomb false flag on US soil, synchronized with a total cyber and communications blackout. Power grids fried, banks frozen, phones dead, cities plunged into darkness and panic. The playbook, crystal clear. Ignite the outrage bomb, pin it all on Iran, and herd the masses screaming into World War III. Seize control of DC, shove every so-called anti-Semite into gulags, and roll out the one world government like it's destiny. This isn't theory anymore. This is the trap snapping shut. And the countdown just hit 0. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our incredible community, support the channel, and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. Just as the US plunged into war with Iran, all to serve Israel's Zionist agenda, Mossad operatives were caught red-handed in allied nations, scheming epic false flags to hijack the headlines and control the chaos. Ask yourself, why is the media actively covering up this information?
So it's probably not, hasn't been reported, but it's a fact that last night in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, authorities arrested Mossad agents planning on committing bombings in those countries. Now, that's weird. That doesn't make any sense. Why would the Israelis be committing bombings in 2 Gulf countries, which are also being attacked by Iran? Aren't they on the same side? No. No. Israel wants to hurt Iran and Qatar and UAE and Saudi and Bahrain and Oman and Kuwait.
And America. These countries host US military bases. These countries are US allies.
The Gulf is not a threat to us. We have military bases in these countries. These are some of our closest allies. All of them are closer allies than Israel, by far. They're our friends, but they've been really hurt. And in a place like Dubai, which is basically part of a country, it's an emirate within the United Arab Emirates, but it's also a luxury brand, basically. People go to Dubai because it's beautiful and rich and clean, and above all, because it's safe and orderly. It's got the busiest airport in the world. You start seeing video on Instagram of smoke in the Dubai airport, and you're like, I think I'm going to Cabo this year. Oh, sorry, drug cartels. Whatever. Maybe you go to Sedona this year. It really, really hurts these countries. And Israel wanted to hurt these countries. That's the point. Wanted to hurt these countries. Wanted to sow chaos and disorder.
The chaos and disorder is just getting started, according to military insiders, who warn that Israel's false flags will not be limited to the Gulf. But before we dive into the details, let's pause for a moment on something truly disturbing. Israel has grown so confident, so untouchable in its position right now, that they're openly floating ideas for false flag operations. They're tossing around different scenarios, debating ways to stage incidents and mislead the world, all out in the open.
Missiles will hit the mosque and clear the place for the third Bet HaMikdash. That could also be a miracle. If it was up to me, the last time when they shot hundreds of missiles, I would pretend that one missile came from Iran and shoot it down. You know, then all the Arabs will go against Iran, it will be the end of the problems. You make them fight with each other, this bunch of lunatics.
According to a high-level military insider, Israel is secretly plotting a major false flag attack on US soil, designed to be blamed on Iran, in a calculated bid to terrorize the public and march them in lockstep into World War III. Matt Bracken, a former Navy SEAL and geopolitical expert, shared these warnings to highlight the risks of escalation in the Middle East. Bracken referenced Israel's historical false flags, such as the 1967 Israeli attack on the USS Liberty, designed to draw America into war with Egypt. This remains the blueprint for how Israel might target US ships in the Persian Gulf today.
Whatever happens in Iran at this point could easily be teed up for a false flag. Just somebody in a building shoots into a crowd, and there's Trump and Netanyahu, and we've got the aircraft carriers, strike groups going in. But people need to understand something. And this, I printed something. It didn't turn out very well, but I'm a real map guy, a geography guy. Iran is like 5 times bigger than Iraq and 10 times bigger than South Vietnam. I mean, at one point we had 500,000 soldiers in South Vietnam, which is 1/10 the size of Iran. And at that time in the 1960s, our Navy was unchallenged. We could drive right to the coast of Vietnam and not be scratched. Aircraft carriers would park right off in North Vietnam, doing airstrikes all day long. We know now that's completely gone out the window. The Houthis, with drones and truck-launched small missiles, were able to drive our Navy out of the Red Sea. They drove us out of the Red Sea because the modern math doesn't work for our type of warfare.
Israel's able to sneak all these missiles and drones in to attack and kill a bunch of the Iranian leadership. So Israel has infiltrated, their operatives are. Absolutely false flag. If Trump says, you kill civilians, I attack you, he just created a scenario for Israel to do a false flag.
Bracken is urging extreme vigilance in the coming weeks, predicting that a staged incident blamed on Iran could rally public support for war, bypassing congressional approval, and leading to catastrophic consequences for American forces and the entire world. And remember when I asked why the mainstream media is actively covering up the truth about Israel's actions? We've got the answer after the break. Warning, it's terrifying. It turns out that the key to losing weight and keeping it off is not about obsessing over carbs or fat or even probiotic-rich foods. The way to maintain a healthy weight, as well as increase your energy levels and live a long, healthy life, comes down to a specific and simple switch that you can flip in your body to flush out all of those unnecessary calories. Dr. Stephen Gundry calls this process the caloric bypass. He has seen thousands of people who have activated this process in their bodies dramatically improve their health. The people who've tried this find that their fat melts away, their energy levels improve like they were young again, and many of their health problems just simply vanish. Dr. Stephen Gundry has lost 70 pounds himself using his research, and has kept the weight off for over 20 years and counting. He says that he feels younger and healthier today than when he was 40 years old. His video has been watched by over 20 million people to date, and you can watch it and learn more by visiting thehealthyfat.com/TPV. Please click the link below this video to learn his secret technique for free at thehealthyfat.com/TPV. The New World Order blueprint is rolling out faster than you can say Big Brother. And we've just been blindsided by a stealth strike from the shadows. Enter Larry Ellison, the world's second richest mogul, Oracle's overlord, now puppeteering TikTok's algorithm after Trump's forced handover, and gobbling up half of mainstream media like CBS and CNN to lock down the narrative. In a jaw-dropping slip, or was it, this pro-Israel billionaire spilled the beans on the elite's endgame. Total AI-fueled surveillance of every American, cameras everywhere, data harvested in real time, citizens on their best behavior, because the system is always watching, recording, judging. This isn't sci-fi, it's the trap closing. From 9/11's engineered chaos to Epstein's blackmail web. Now Ellison's digital panopticon ties it all together, herding us towards one world control.
The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. And it's unimpeachable.
Let's be clear, this didn't happen overnight. The blueprint has been circulating for years among the same powerful interests who profit from crisis and control. And now their script is being followed to the letter. Remember Klaus Schwab's notorious announcement about an impending cyber attack? You didn't have to be a body language expert to see it. Professor Schwab's deranged excitement when hinting about a cyber attack worse than 9/11 wasn't normal. Students of history know this pattern. The global elite are using Israel to steer the world towards a new war. One that will obliterate borders, leave nations shattered, and pave the way for a single centralized system of control. From the ruins, a new order will rise. Digital, authoritarian, and absolute. These elites, they bowed down to Baal in their hidden rituals, viewing the rest of us as worthless cattle, fodder for their evil agenda. And make no mistake, they've slithered into every corner of power, quietly hijacking every government of the world, as the heavily redacted Epstein files lay bare for those brave enough to connect the dots.
Jeffrey Epstein's bank account was called Baal, the ancient Canaanite deity which people had sacrificed their children to. A victim's diary shows that she was impregnated multiple times and forced to give birth for Ghislaine and Epstein. Israel is mentioned twice as much as Donald Trump in the new documents. Here he is discussing with Roger Schank, a Jewish American academic and hedge fund worker, saying Jews create vast fortunes by manipulating markets and creating financial speculation and exploiting labor. He says, let the Goyim deal in the real world. In a discussion with the Rothschild family, Epstein says if they overthrew the Ukrainian government, there would be great opportunities. The Rothschild family paid Epstein $25 million for certain algorithms. While talking to Peggy Seigel, August 7th of 2010, she asks if an event is going to be 100% Jewish. He says no, they'll have Goyim in abundance. But don't worry, they're just brilliant wasps from JP Morgan. Joshua Finkelstein, BlackRock's Larry Finkelstein's son, is accused of not having any respect for non-Jews, seeing them as not human. This is from his ex-girlfriend, Svetlana. He pressures her to have an abortion. In 2017, Epstein has a conversation talking about if you want to hire the best people, you have to hire only Jews. Only hire those who can prove they are genetically Jewish. Maria Farmer, one of the first victims to come out and name Epstein.
I wasn't allowed to go get food. And when I called Ghislaine and asked why I couldn't eat there, she said, it's a Jewish country club. You're not Jewish. They're not going to serve you. They, honest to God, think their DNA is better than everybody else's.
Said that their operation was motivated by Jewish supremacy.
We've mentioned the USS Liberty, a brutal false flag that exposed Israel's playbook early. But when you talk false flags, you can't tiptoe around the big one. 9/11 has to stay dead center. It's the blueprint, the mother of all operations that kicked off endless wars, shredded freedoms, and rewired the world order. And this isn't dusty history. This trail circles right back to those Epstein files. The unsealed vaults of depravity aren't just about elite pedophile rings and underage blackmail. They're laced with intel bombs.
There were some files missing.
Yep.
Did you see the chart of the years that they're really missing from?
Mm-hmm.
And we can see that there is a massive gap between the years of 1999 to 2001, when you had the tech bubble blow up and the Lewinsky impeachment trials happening. The election of 2000, the highly contested election of 2000, John Kiriakou.
Yep.
And then in 2001, you have the worst terrorist attack in United States history in New York and D.C. and in the skies that fell over Pennsylvania with United 93. And suddenly all these files are missing. But John, we did get an email from 2003 that slipped through the cracks. This is from 2003. Someone named Ed Epstein sends an email to one Ghislaine Maxwell saying any interest in being on the Shadow Commission on 9/11, the membership list is secret. She responds, thanks for the invite. Unfortunately, I cannot be on the Shadow Commission.
A shadow commission. It takes my breath away.
Here's the truth they don't want you to know. The VPNs you thought were your shield, your last line of defense against government and corporate surveillance, have already been hijacked. One Tel Aviv-based company with a long history of distributing malware has quietly bought up nearly all of the biggest VPNs on the planet. ExpressVPN, CyberGhost, private internet access, the list goes on. And the people they hire? Not random techies, not privacy activists, but veterans of Israel's most notorious intelligence units. Unit 8200. The cyber warfare arm behind one of the world's most advanced spying tools. And the Dovdadin unit, infiltration experts turned executives. This is a red alert. If you're using a traditional VPN, you need to cancel your subscription immediately. You're under attack. That's why in 2026, VP.net exists to solve this urgent problem, using zero trust architecture and next-gen cryptography to shut their digital eyes forever. It's not another VPN with clever marketing. It's trustless by design, meaning even if they wanted to spy on you, they couldn't. Even if the feds hold a gun to their head, they can't hand anything over. Check it out at vp.net/TPV. Built on zero-knowledge cryptography, Intel SGX secure enclaves, and open source code you can audit yourself, It's mathematically impossible to log or leak your data. No Mossad backdoors, no compromats, no hidden hands. Just pure verifiable privacy. This is how we fight back. Not with fear, but with technology that works for us, not against us. Go to vp.net/TPV and close Big Brother's eyes for good.